You may have noticed at the top of your layers panel is a drop-down menu that says normal. And then if you click on it, you can see all of these other options. So these are the blending modes in Photoshop, and this is where you can have a lot of fun. So I'm going to briefly go over what are the different groups of the blending modes. So I have set up here an image with a neutral gray that is with my red, green, and blue all set to 175. That's how you get a neutral gray. And I have a white, a red, and a black. And just to, on a side note, point out, I put the three of them on separate layers because I'm always thinking about doing things on separate layers and making it non-destructive. And then I realized, oh, I actually want these three to be on the same layer. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of my background. So the only layers that are visible are these three, and I want to merge them. So I'm going to go up to Layer and say Merge Visible. So just the layers that are visible are now going to merge, meaning they are now all on one layer. So normally I don't want you guys to do that, but I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so now we're in the normal blending mode and we can distinctly see my white, my red, and my black. So let's switch it over. I'm going to go first into this the first category here that starts with darken. And the first thing you may notice is my white disappeared. So this category here removes your whites and it makes everything darker. I'll go back up to normal. Notice how my red is pretty bright, and then when I go to the darken, my red becomes darker. The black doesn't change. So all of the modes, the blending modes that change here make things darker. So what's happening is it is blending, it is changing the mode, the way that Photoshop is seeing the color on one layer with whatever is underneath it. This is talking about how it's blending this layer with what's underneath it. So because I have a neutral gray, I'm just getting like a darker red here. But if I had a different color, it would blend with that color. And I could do that as an example. Okay, so this first group kind of darkens and it makes the whites disappear. The next group does the opposite. My black disappeared and everything gets lighter. So you have a variety of ones that are all kind of similar. Let me just change my background color here for a second. I'll just pick like, let's pick green. I swear I picked green. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay, and now clicking on that layer, let's see what happens when I go up here. So you see that now my red, it kind of blends with the green, and I'm getting, it's not just like a dark red anymore. Oops. And over here I'm getting more of a yellow instead of the light red because it's blending with the color that's underneath. All right. And then we have some other ones here. These kind of just deal with different types of lighting. So some make it more contrasty, some make them a little bit lighter. And the ones down here are just kind of like fun, artistic. They give you the color opposite of whatever your color is. So it blends it with the color underneath, and then it gives you the color opposite. So, you know, so you can just kind of like go through and play with these things. Let's look at some examples. Here's an example in a portrait. So in this case, the student was putting a blending mode on the space imagery that he wanted to put onto the sky. So let's see what that looks like at normal. So there it is at normal, looking at the hair. And then as you go through, dissolve just makes it kind of like look pixelated. This is the darken, which isn't really that interesting. But this is what I think I would suggest that you do for your portraiture project, is just as you are making your masks and clipping things in and putting things together, you know, try these different blending modes and see if you find a look that you like. So I think that probably his decision to have it on lighten was the best blending mode, because we're getting a little bit of the galaxy space thing, but we're also seeing a little bit of the hair. Okay, so that's in short what the blending modes are. You're blending whatever you have on this layer with whatever is underneath, but it's adjusting the color, whether it's making it lighter, getting rid of the whites, getting rid of the blacks, or making your color the opposite. But all these different types of blending modes. So check them out.